Well, good morning. Welcome to the Morning After Ministry show. It feels a little weird today. We may not all be in the same location, but I promise we're still the same church. One church, three. Is that how this goes?
One podcast, three locations.
One podcast, three locations. We'll be piping in Frank week after week right here. You can watch him on the big screen. That's not how this is going to work. This is how it's going to work. We're gonna gather every Monday. Andrew, Frank, myself. We're going to talk the week in ministry that was, because that's what we do each and every Monday.
And yesterday was Sunday.
And this right here is the morning after.
Welcome to the Morning After Ministry Show, a caffeine-fueled look back on the week and ministry that was.
All right, welcome back. It's another edition of the Morning After Ministry show. It was a little bit of a different weekend for me. I'll kick things off because I got to attend church online. That's right. I went to the 9:30 service of Lakeview Church from the comfort of my couch with my kids screaming in the background, "Dad, this must not be Sunday." They couldn't believe it. I haven't been home on a Sunday in, I don't know, because usually if I miss a Sunday, I'm out of town. So was not out of town yet. Got up, enjoyed a peaceful morning with my family. I made the cinnamon rolls. Normally my wife makes them every Sunday. That's our family tradition. I never get one because they're gone. However, I got to make them, so I got to also eat them. Frank, I got to listen to a sermon.
Did you put sprinkles on the cinnamon rolls?
No, there was no
and
need.
Do you
icing.
have special? I know, but it's Christmas, so you can put Christmas
Okay,
sprinkles
you're
on the
talking.
cinnamon rolls.
No. You're talking about Christmas Day cinnamon rolls. That's different. That's when we actually design the cinnamon rolls and we form them into a Christmas tree.
You can use sprinkles
Every
any
Christmas.
time of year.
Frank, thank you for that sermon on peace. It was needed and very, very helpful. It was awesome. Also, you look good with Christmas trees behind you. I don't know what it was. I love the online shot at Lakeview. It just looks like you're in a Christmas tree farm, and I'm like, this makes me happy.
Yeah, the tight shot is a plethora of Christmas trees behind.
There's only
the
three, but when you're at the
Lakeview.
tight shot, it's like, wow, you're preaching from a tree, and I just think that is so magical.
You're in that one shot of every network TV show from about 12 years ago where something big happened in
so
Christmas tree lot somewhere.
It's almost like a Hallmark movie each and every Sunday at Lakeview. If you're looking for a great church this Christmas season, where the small town book owner falls in love with the big business guy, Lakeview Church is really where you want to be.
Am I the business guy and you're the small town?
That's exactly what's happening.
I feel like we should have a Hallmark movie where someone falls in love with the preacher. I don't watch very many.
I'm sure
of them.
that exists.
Wait. I think what you're saying,
exists.
we can work through something because the wife dies tragically. It's really, really sad.
Yeah.
That's the opening. But then we get a flash
It's Christmas.
forward.
Will he ever love again?
Okay. I like where this is going.
If it's Hallmark, it's probably going to be like a Catholic priest. It's not going to be like a non-denominational pastor. It's going to be like some kind of high tradition church.
Maybe not Catholic priests, because I don't know if they need to marry. But
I was say maybe
Oh, yeah.
maybe
Like Methodist
we're not gonna
or Presbyterian.
we're not gonna say what it is, but he is for sure wearing a collar in the Hallmark.
The collar is
that's
what delineates him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah.
I like the story. Hey, speaking of stories,
And maybe
guys.
she grew up Catholic and assumes
Okay.
that as handsome as she finds him, well, he's off limits. And then she finds out what? Some pastors can be married? Maybe
You're
that's
Anglican?
the name of the film.
Guys,
Some pastors can be married.
I'm going to chat GPT our premise. I'll get us a working script. Maybe we could do a read through next week.
That'd be great.
Frank's
Let's do
going to
it.
play
Let's do
the widowed pastor. Andrew, you're the girl searching for love. I'll be the director here. It's fine.
I need a wig.
Why
love
did this
it.
show take such a weird turn all of a sudden? I don't know what's happening. Speaking of, I don't know what's happening.
Frank, I
found
could
myself.
do way worse than you.
That's true. That is true.
Good.
Boys, my life took a different turn yesterday. I stepped into the world of cheer dad. I've been a dad for 16 and a half years, Andrew. 16 and a half years I have had to take care of
I was
tiny
looking
humans.
at your pictures, and I've never been more grateful to have all boys.
I'm just, so I wanted to lean in. I'm asking parents, what do I do? When do I scream? How do I know? It was just like when my daughter played lacrosse a few years ago. My daughter would come home from school. She's like, Dad, what are you doing? And I was watching yet another YouTube video on the rules of lacrosse. And I said, well, when I show up to your game, I don't want to be an idiot. Like, I want to know everything. So I had to learn everything yesterday, including shouting every time they do some sort of jump. Like, that's a parent thing. I didn't know that crowd participation is part of your scoring. So the louder the parents are, the better so you better believe I was one loud dad when my daughter was doing her thing out there. I guess it worked.
Is this why Zoe Miller is the most amening of the Miller kids during a sermon? Because she knows that crowd participation counts for the score, and she wants to make sure that you get full points. So
she knows how big of a deal it is. I guess my screaming worked. They won first place at like a major competition. So I'm like, if I scream like that, does that guarantee a dub? So I was telling her she better be thanking me for that win, because without my voice there, I don't know if they took home the win. So it was fun. I was gone all day. I was gone all day. We got home very tired last night. All the girls went. Of course, Aaron did not. He was soaking wet at the Jaguars game, cheering on his beloved team as they took over first place in the AFC South. So a lot of winning yesterday.
And,
a lot of fun.
And as they ruined my fantasy season, because even though I'm in first place in our league.
You have Trevor. You'll be fine.
Yeah, but Trevor hasn't put up the points that Indiana Jones has, so I'm a little bit anxious.
I mean, he's
going into the playoffs.
Number 7 quarterback for the last 4 weeks, so he's doing just fine. All right, Frank, I need to hear from you, though, because I attended Lakeview online. From what I saw, everything looked great, but I want to hear from, you're not just guest preacher anymore. You are a regular communicator at Lakeview. So this was your first Advent sermon at Lakeview. So how did the Advent sermon go? Did the Christmassy season feel a little different than just a normal Sunday up there for you? Walk us through life without Tim on a Sunday at Lakeview.
I mean, it was Christmassy. It was good. There was a good, like, people were feeling good. People were feeling like festive, I guess you can say. It was good. I preached 3 sermons. It was my shortest sermon I ever preached at Lakeview. I ended the service about 6 or 7 minutes till the hour. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So if it was like, oh yeah, I didn't mean to say that. I did not mean to say that.
You meant to do it.
I wasn't
meant to do it.
That's literally the time frame of it.
My wife is substitute teaching today in Lewis's 3rd grade class, and apparently the kids keep trying to 6-7 her, which is like a thing that you do to substitute teachers now, where you try to get the teacher to say it, and she's fallen for it multiple times.
Wow.
So I'm sure Lewis will be very excited when he gets home.
8 a.m. ended at 8:53, so like a whole service of 53 minutes. Like, so anyways, and that includes communion, so that's pretty impressive.
Wow.
Why are people even getting out of bed for a 53-minute service?
Why? What's even happening, right? It was good. I had jokes. I had yelled. I talked about Die Hard being a Christmas movie.
You did. That was a great opener. Yeah, it was good.
I saw the reel this morning. It was great.
Yeah, and then I also I had like announcements I had to wrap in there. So one of them at every service we had to. One thing that you probably don't see on the stream or in any videos is in the front of the pastor, on the front of the stage, there is literally several dozen poinsettias that are covering the front of the stage. And they are, it's a fundraiser where the youth pastor is selling them so that way the youth can get money for summer camp. And so I was encouraged to push the poinsettias at the end of the service. And so I made a joke, and every service, it got increasingly more dramatic. The first service I said, please take the poinsettias home. If not, Todd has to buy them all, and his wife isn't going to be happy. The second service, I said, please buy the poinsettias, and if you don't, Todd has to buy them all, and his credit score is going to go down. In the third service, I said, if you don't, Todd is going to go in severe debt, and it's going to ruin his life. And, dude, I think there's like 20 poinsettias left.
That's great.
Oh yeah, we did like yeah, it's pretty great. And then also, I made a joke, and this is funny because like Lakeview won't be doing this, but at the end of the third service, I need to get as many volunteers as I can to take all the chairs and stack them because we are cleaning the carpets.
Oh, so that's the real reason that
after,
Tim wasn't at church yesterday. Is
I
because
didn't
he
want to
didn't want to
stack
help stack
chairs.
the chairs.
So right
Listen,
after
I'm the global senior pastor now. I don't stack chairs.
global. Right after I made the poinsettia joke, I said in the third service, "Hey, we need help stacking the chairs to clean our carpets." Right before you all spill wax on the floor or something, and like I think I was like making jokes about how like they can't hold their communion cups and they spill grape juice everywhere, and then I think I made another joke about like wax. Anyways, it was all fun. And the carpet and all the chairs got cleared, so it was good. Poinsettias were taken, the gospel was preached, and we talked about peace on earth. So it was fun, man. And like there was like a lot of people. I'll say that Tim knows this because Tim said at the men's breakfast he was sitting at a table and like everyone there was like, what did you say, sub 4 weeks or sub 7 weeks or something like that?
At men's prayer on Saturday, which we didn't even talk about, I strategically chose a table where I didn't know the guys. And at the end of our prayer time, I said, all right, guys, how long have you been coming to Lakeview? And it went from 4 months to this past Sunday was my first Sunday. And it was a table full of guys. So I'm like, wow, okay. It was all of their first times at men's prayer as well. It was so cool.
Like 3 people came up to me, or 3 couples came up to me after service, after like each of the services. And they all asked me the same question. They said, are you the main preacher? And I said, no, I'm not the main preacher. Tim is the main preacher. And they were like, oh, this is our first Sunday, and awesome. We really like the service or whatever.
I mean,
so
the beards are fairly similar. So I'm just thinking if I've like been to the website or something and I show up.
You could get us confused.
Like,
people do that all the time.
Oh.
And it's currently winter, so this is the only time where Tim is darker than me. So it's because my skin color is dealing with the overcast. So it was, bro, it was a good service. Yeah, man, we missed you though. Everyone kept asking me. Everyone kept asking me where you were, and I kept saying, "Tim,
he's had a cheerleading competition.
Tim is doing Cheer Dad," and everyone's response was like, "What? Really?" And my response was like, "Yeah, he keeps reminding me that he's not going to the Jags game." Which I hope he's not telling Zoe, because I hope he doesn't make Zoe feel bad. Like, I'm sacrificing my life to be at this cheer game. I could be at the game. So hopefully Zoe felt
she was
like
very thankful.
You wanted to be there. Okay.
Andrew, week 2 of Advent, how did Safety Harborland go?
Week 2 of Advent,
which, by the way, some churches were kicking off Advent this week. I made sure to message the pastors and let them know, hey guys, you're a week late.
Let them know,
that's not how the calendar works. I'm meeting with one of those pastors this week. I'm going to let him know that he's off a little bit.
Kind of like those churches that think that they get to redefine what the term Reformed means. It's like this is not about you. This is bigger than you. You can't say, "Hey, Advent starts this week." No. Advent is on the global church calendar. It doesn't start when you say it starts.
You don't get to
people.
Choose.
What's wrong with them?
All right, Andrew. Week 2. Let's hear it.
Week 2 of.
Oh,
who's calling?
That's festive. I'm getting all kinds of calls right now. That's what happens when you have your phone as your camera.
As your camera. We were in week 2 of Let Earth Receive Her King. We're going through the songs recorded in Luke. We were in the Benedictus of Zechariah this week in Luke chapter 1. Also,
we did the songs of Luke a few years back. It was a great series.
This is, we have not done this exact theme before, and so it's like the 4 songs are tied into the 4 themes of Advent. So
that's good.
Last week we had Mary, and that was hope.
Yep.
And then this was peace, because it the Benedictus ends with talking about being led in paths of peace, and so that worked out really well. It was a good tie-in there. We also had a guest worship leader, which we'll have next week as well, and maybe the week after that.
Wow.
Our
Okay.
worship leader Brad had spine surgery last Tuesday.
That sounds
And
serious.
so it was a fairly serious surgery. And so we have a former Lakeview worship leader, Jonathan Clifford, filling in for us. And he did a fantastic job.
That's
he
awesome.
and I were hanging out a bit before everybody else got there, and we're just kind of talking through, church world. And I didn't realize how young he was when he was leading worship at Lakeview.
He was like
12.
17.
I was like, so he was just, I'm so glad, Tim's there. He's like, things are really healthy. He's like, I don't know if you know this. And so I don't know how well he knows our connections. Like, I don't know if you know this, but things weren't really all that healthy when I was leading at Lakeview. And I said to him,
you don't say.
I said, I'm familiar, but also you probably didn't realize this at the time, but any church that's handing over the reins of the worship service to a 17-year-old is probably not in the healthiest spot. And he was like, yeah, that's probably a good point.
That's a good tell. Tell.
Yeah, it's like that's a good way to tell that things are not quite going as planned. But I thought that she's like, you might not know this, but things weren't really super healthy before Tim took over. I was like, yep.
Hey, let's jump into the comments a little bit. Matt, he's referencing back to this Hallmark movie. He's got a twist for us at the end of the movie. Surprise at the end. He's schizophrenic. We could pull that off.
What? That's crazy.
Good morning, Jimmy. Tammy, love you guys. Hey, if you're looking for a great church based in the town of the best paper company where Dwight plays Belschnickel, is used as a John the Baptist reference during the sermon, City Lights Church. City Lights, did you do that? Did you actually do that? I really hope you did, because that would just make me so happy if you did. City Lights Church, Scranton, PA. I don't know if there's a better church in the Scranton, PA area. Jimmy, I'm with you. Frank, you did a great job. Jimmy wasn't there, but did watch one of the services online, as always. Good job. Bree, watching in a coffee shop. She's LOLing. Her coffee's spilling everywhere. My
collar doesn't work with my crew neck, so I can't be playing the handsome
Andrew,
Hallmark.
what are you doing? Bree, we're happy you're watching from a coffee shop. I will say this, and this is because Frank did this last week. Will you not take Zoom calls or meetings in a coffee shop? It makes it very difficult to hear you because there will be a lot of background noise behind you. So if you're on an important Zoom, I would say make sure the environment is quiet. Like, I don't know, maybe an empty house or something like that. That's just some
or have a
practical
microphone that's going to cancel out the background noise. If you're just using your built-in microphone, that's on you. But even the newer AirPods will have a mic that's going to isolate your voice compared to everything around you. But also, if you're having a Zoom call and you're using the speakers on your computer, then you're the worst human ever. That's just how you know.
That is crazy.
Anytime Andrew has a great take, I'm going to make sure that sound effect absolutely
the air horn is playing.
Goes off.
I was at a Starbucks and I had my AirPod Maxes, my big boys, and apparently there's a lot of background. It was a loud Starbucks. It was the which Starbucks was I at? Oh, I was in the Starbucks in Tarpon Springs, and it's nice because there's like a wall that separates you from this like big long table, but it's like a pretty busy Starbucks. So I'm sorry.
The one on 19.
I've already forgiven you, Frank. Andrew, we need to talk about this because something happened last week that's literally never happened.
Sure did.
In either of our ministry settings. We have been friends for a long time. We've both been in full-time ministry for, put together more decades than many people have been alive, which is very, very scary. Andrew, you crashed the Lakeview Church staff meeting. Not for like, hey, I'm just popping to say hello. Like, you sat in the whole time, and we asked you
the whole meeting.
We asked you questions. You provided content for us. You helped out in our prayer time. What was it like sitting? Frank, you've done this a few times. I've actually never sat in on a church staff meeting that I wasn't on staff at the church of. So, Andrew, what was that like?
So I was meeting with Todd, your youth pastor. He is a student at Liberty, and I am a faculty member there, so I was kind of helping him go through some stuff. And
Soon he'll be attending Southeastern University.
That's not true. I think that was a very profitable time for him. At least I hope I was able to give him some good insight there. And so when he and I were finding a day that worked, I said, because we were planning on doing a Tuesday, and he was like, well, if we go early, I can come down to Safety Harbor. I was like, why don't I come up to where you are? Because I know you guys have staff meeting, and then I can just stick around for staff meeting after. And it was great. I have not sat in that type of a staff meeting in some time. You know, our regular staff here is 3-ish. Everybody else has regular 9-to-5 jobs. And so the 3 of us that are here during the week, we will regularly powwow around a desk or a table, just where we all happen to be. But a scheduled and agended staff meeting is not something that I get to be a part of very often. And so it was really nice to kind of be a part of a wider church staff and talk about the goings on. And I wasn't the only visitor there. One of your elders who I've known longer than you and I have known each other, Tim.
There. Yep.
Yeah. And
I benefited greatly. Like afterwards, I came home and told Steph, like, why haven't we done this before? Like, why we pray for Safety Harbor. We pray for a lot of area churches all the time. Like, why would we not, from time to time, and invite the pastor? I mean, I think we all have busy schedules, and it's a lot in the middle of a work day. Sure. I think this one worked out well. But I mean, from time to time, if we're scheduling a lunch, hey, can you want to come over an hour early and sit in on staff meeting and let us pray for you and let our staff ask a few questions about what you guys are up to? I mean, why would we not do that?
I think that's a great idea, just because what's the quote from Deep and Wide? Time in erodes awareness of, just fresh perspective. Mm-hmm. And I think if I were in your shoes, once a month or once a quarter, I'd have one of our like-minded sister churches in the area.
That's going to happen.
For the cost of buying a pastor lunch, you say, hey, come and just be an extra set of eyes at staff meeting. I was thrilled to be there. I enjoyed my time. And I told my wife, like, I felt like I wasn't just a fly on the wall. I felt like I was participating and was helpful.
It was fun. Frank, you've actually done this a few times, and we've talked about it a little bit before, but you have sat in on other churches' staff meetings.
And Frank doing this is what gave me the idea. When I was talking to Todd, I was like, oh, I'm just going to go to Lakeview staff meeting because Frank does that sometimes.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. I've done that with a couple of churches in the area. It's just like sometimes it's like I'll tag it with a one-on-one with the other pastor, but it's like it's amazing what you'll learn about like organizational leadership by sitting in a staff meeting. Either what you could learn and do, or what you shouldn't do. But
that's good.
Either way, it's cool because I mean. You'll learn about like, hey, this whole staff is very young. There's unique staff dynamics. There's things they talk about that I never thought I would talk about in a staff meeting. So it was cool to have you, Andrew. You weren't just a fly on the wall. You were a participant in our staff. I was gonna make a joke earlier, but then it got really sincere. I was gonna say like Andrew's staff meeting is just him in the mirror being like, okay, you gotta you gotta write your sermons, and then you gotta clean the toilet, and then you gotta count everybody, but make sure you do it twice. You don't skip. Like I thought that's how you do your staff meetings.
Listen, last night I sent the email. Yesterday
afternoon I sent the schizophrenic pastor that Matt's talking about. He's a schizophrenic pastor.
I sent the email with the attendance, and then it turns out there was a parent who, when I saw that parent, I counted that parent's kids, but the kids weren't there. But I had already sent the attendance email. I was like, you know what?
Wow.
We're just gonna have 2 extra kids on the roll this week. Shh.
I'm glad you confessed to the world. You felt guilty. That's why you just confessed to everyone.
I did. I felt guilty, but at the same time, not guilty enough to revise my email.
Change it.
All right, boys. We are in the midst of all things Advent. The holiday season is upon us. Frank, we had our annual staff, elder, and spouse Christmas party on Friday night. We had so much fun.
Frank had another Christmas party that was invite only the next night, apparently.
Then two days later, He had
Yeah.
a very exclusive Cross and Crown Christmas party. So Frank, you had a very Christmas party weekend, and you preached. I'm guessing you're a little tired today.
You also missed one. My home group had our Christmas party last night too, so it's been a
What?
crazy, yeah.
That's a lot,
So
dude.
yeah. So the Lakeview Christmas party, amazing, great food. Tim and I ate
Always.
so much steak. It was so good.
It's my lunch today
Uh,
too. I'm literally cannot wait to get off this call because then I'm
it
gonna go
is.
eat the
It's
rest of that
so
steak.
good. It was. Yeah, I won. Also, I won a $10 Chick-fil-A gift card because
Yeah, you did.
I
Nice.
used uh, candy canes as chopsticks and moved marshmallows around.
You had to
And
build snowmen with candy canes
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
marshmallows.
and and in the gift exchange, I was able
Dude,
to
you won the gift
walk out.
exchange.
My wife and I walked out with $75 in Amazon gift cards, so it was a pretty good day for us. Tim walked away with steak, another like frozen steak, and
I've
then
got
I
two
forgot
steaks in my freezer.
what your wife won, but
Stephanie has a beautiful Christmas throw blanket. It looks amazing on our couch right now.
Andrew, there was legitimately like conniving happening. Like people were like strategic, like, 'cause, like, 'cause you can steal something and then you can lock it,
Oh, I
and
get
So
like
it.
it was,
spouses were talking to each other. Hey, if you don't do this, I'll take this, and then we get. Yep. If you steal, then I'll
yeah,
steal from you to lock it in because it requires two steals to lock in a gift. It was happening.
yeah, yeah. And so that was fun. It was great. And then we took a big photo afterwards. And then,
That was sweet,
yeah, it was great. So then on Sunday after the service, we had our very first Cross and Crown Christmas party.
bro. That's a long
I don't know.
Sunday for you. That's a
I
long
know.
Sunday.
I know. And I don't know if this is something we can do every year because of like space and food and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the Cross the Crown launch team, we got together and we had a lunch that was catered, and then
Awesome.
I was able to share the calendar of events for the next 9 months in 2026.
I love it.
And kids decorated cookies and all this kind of stuff. It was super fun, and we had a great time. And then that evening, I took a quick nap, and we had a bunch of young adults come over our house, and we stole all the game ideas from
Good.
the staff Christmas party. So it was good.
Hey,
We did a
that
quick
made your life
exchange.
easy.
We put cookies, we put marshmallows and made snowmen. It was fun. It was fun. So it was a good time.
Andrew, you've got yours
Yesterday
coming up, but
morning.
it's not till later.
Yeah, we do our staff Christmas dinner in January. It's just easier that way. We so right as service was starting, our live stream is run by a group of high schoolers, and so we have a senior girl and then two freshman boys that combined maybe do one job, the two boys. And so she says to me, Andrew, how does your son have marshmallows for his hot chocolate? Because we have our little coffee station kind of back where we record if the three of us are together,
Yeah.
and there's the hot water pot that is supposed to be for tea that the kids in the youth group have discovered. Oh, there's hot chocolate packets underneath there, so we can use the boiling water that's supposed to be for tea to make hot chocolate. And Landon had this heaping cup of hot chocolate with a bunch of marshmallows on top. And so Megan was like, Andrew, where did he find the marshmallows? I was like, just ask him. And she's like, I know that's weird. I don't want to ask him, or have him go get you some. Like, she's the one like running the show. He's doing what she tells him to do. And so, and she's like, oh, I don't want to ask him. So after our welcome and announcement and call to worship, which is the Advent candle this time of year, I go back there, and during the first song, I'm like, Landon, where did you get the marshmallows? Megan wants some for her hot chocolate too. And Landon reaches into his pocket. He knew he was going to make hot chocolate when he got to church, and he stuffed his pocket with marshmallows at home before he left the house. And so Megan's like, I'm good. I don't want any of your pocket marshmallows for 15-year-old boys, man. They are weird.
I would have done that.
They are weird and wonderful.
Smart man. Wow.
But now I was like, man, do we try to find a way where we can put a couple of high schoolers in charge of making sure that whoever wants hot chocolate for our Christmas Eve service gets hot chocolate? And my wife was like, no, that's just an extra thing. We don't need, because then someone has to wash. If we either make a big batch, someone has to wash a hot chocolate carafe.
a lot.
before they leave on Christmas Eve. And I'm like, yeah, but who wouldn't want a hot chocolate when they're coming into a Christmas Eve service? I think it would be wonderful, but my wife is trying to get me to do less things. It's a shame. Oh well. Those are my hot chocolate thoughts.
Gentlemen, it's a big week in Lakeview land. We have an architect meeting tomorrow where what I've been told as of today, the video is done.
I expected a video to be emailed or texted to me on Friday afternoon.
So it was going to be Friday. I think they had it ready by Friday. However, I needed to protect my Friday to be with my family. My wife reminded me that I am taking Fridays off. I need to stop scheduling meetings on Fridays. Turns out I'm in a lot of meetings right now. So trying to protect my family day, which is now Fridays. So we pushed this meeting to tomorrow, and I am really excited. I cannot wait to see the flyover, the detailed look at the future of Lakeview Church. We'll be unveiling this video on Sunday night at the annual meeting. Excited about that as well. So we have a lot coming up in a very short amount of time, which means I'm going to be putting in some extra hours this week, making sure we're all ready to rock and roll for Sunday night's annual meeting, which now includes this unveiling.
So, Tim, you've got the next 2 Sundays in Advent and then Christmas Eve.
I'm preaching 3 more times this year. Yep.
Okay. And then is the 28th Todd?
The 28th is our youth pastor, Todd, and then Frank will kick off the new year, and then I'll be back in the saddle for the rest of
okay,
January.
So you get a few week break there.
Yep, I'll take 2 Sundays. We leave the Friday after Christmas, and we get back the first Sunday of January.
Yeah, we fly out Christmas night to go to Arkansas, so we've never done the flying on Christmas before. I expect it to be a lot like Home Alone, or at least I'm hoping it is, where we're running through the airport and getting batteries and all that kind of stuff. So it should be fairly interesting.
Pete's right. I did steal his steak. He originally had the steak at the party. Russell's wondering where the steaks come from. I think, is it Wild Fork? Is that what that place is called? Frank, I can't hear you.
Frankie's muted.
I don't know if he's asking about the catered steak or if he's asking about the steak that you won. But
where did the catered steak come
was
from?
Wild Fork. I don't know. What restaurant did they order it from?
We will find out. It really was that good. Pastor Brad's got a question for us, but first, Bree's wondering if my meeting tomorrow is before. It's actually after staff meeting, Bree. However, Howard Parker, who's on our team, he's going to be coming to staff meeting tomorrow to give us an update as well as answer any questions before we head over to the architect together to check this thing out. All right, Pastor Brad, here we go.
Wait, it was from Grillsmith.
Oh, Grillsmith. Okay, Grillsmith's awesome.
Thanks, Brian.
Pastor Brad says, I am looking at taking on a camp. Ooh, this sounds fun. I'm looking at taking on a camp director position. I happen to be a big fan of camp. Do you have any good book recommendations as I get started? All right, boys, what is going to help Pastor Brad potentially taking on a camp director? I'm guessing this is full-time, Brad. This sounds like a pretty big endeavor. What all does the camp director position include? Is this like a week after week, all summer long camp director position? If so, that sounds awesome, and it sounds like a lot. We'll get some recommendations too.
I don't know any books about camp directing specifically, but I would read books about leadership. And so the first book that comes to mind is Paul David Tripp's lead book. That book is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
It's
Brad
written
says
for pastors.
Full-time. Yeah.
But I would look at that. There's a book I read. I'm trying to remember who the author was, but I read it in. It's by Aubrey Malphur. It's called Being Leaders. That's a great book that I would recommend. And there's a
Dallas Theological Seminary professor Aubrey Malphur.
Yeah, at least one thing came good out of Dallas Seminary. So I'm just playing.
Ministry Nuts and Bolts by him is really, really good. I'm trying to think, and I'm completely spacing on his name. My favorite class that I took at Dallas Seminary was a class called Christian Camping. I think it's got a different name now, and it was the greatest class ever because it was a week-long class, and I got an A in it. So that was, and I think it might have been my first A in seminary actually, and it was fantastic because there was like the practical ministry side of things. Then there was the marketing side of things, and then there was all the business stuff, so like the insurance and the overhead and that kind of thing. It was the best class I ever took, and the guy who taught it was the executive director of Pine Cove Camp, which is in Tyler, Texas. So Pine Cove and Kanakuk go back and forth as the largest Christian camps in the world. They like take turns building a new camp, and then for 1 year this guy's the biggest, and then the next year somebody else opens a family camp. And that was fantastic, and I'm completely spacing on the guy's name who taught that class, but it was wonderful. Look up the group that accredits camps. It's not ACSI, that's Christian schools, but something very similar to that. The group that does the Christian camp accreditation, they have a ton of really good resources, and I was ill prepared and can't think of any of them off the top of my head.
My thought when you were saying that, Andrew, was actually because this is such a niche position. I don't know how many books or resources are out there besides I think general books about leadership would be really, really good, and we gave you some recommendations on it. But honestly, this is what I would do. I would cold call these some of these camps and be like, can I get a Zoom call? Or if you have the means to, coffee with a director of a larger, established, successful camp and just pick their brain, buy them coffee. That's what I would do if I was in your situation. But
yeah, Frank, I was thinking about that because it's similar to what you're doing in the church planting realm. I mean, I don't know of any planter that's ever done it as well as you have done it here in the Tampa Bay area. You have done it. You have absolutely made it your mission to reach out to every pastor you possibly could to meet with. I would say let's echo that, Brad. If you can get in touch with some camp directors that you think are killing it, or maybe you disagree with, I'd say take them out to lunch, buy them a coffee, pick their brain a little bit, learn as much as you can. He's also thinking about a master's degree. So Dr. Larson, we're going to bring you in here because he already has his Bible undergrad degree. Do you think pursuing a master's degree here would be helpful for him? And you could speak, from your Liberty University background.
First off, go to Southeastern.
Stop that, Frank. So Dan Bolin is the name of the camp director I was talking about, and he has a bunch of good books. He has one called Blueprints: Biblical Designs for Christian Camping, and so he's wonderful. Dan Bolin, he is accessible if you reach out to him.
Man.
I'm guessing that he would get back with you. Also, they're the best camp director of a regular size camp. Pine Cove is ginormous. There is a guy who runs a camp in Capitan, New Mexico named Steve Dirks, the Lone Tree Bible Ranch. And he is just the best. Find me on Facebook. I'm friends with both of them, to reach out to them. So Steve Dirks and Dan Bolin are the guys I would have you recommend. Liberty has outdoor ministry focuses in several master's degrees. So it's funny. You can do an online master's in outdoor ministry, which is kind of funny, a little bit ironic. But again, the best class I took at Dallas Seminary was a class focused on Christian camping. So there are a lot of general youth ministry type master's degrees where you will have some type of emphasis in outdoor ministry or Christian camping or whatever it may be. Some of the courses that I'm teaching right now at Liberty have camp components without that being a part. I'm teaching one right now that is a programming for youth ministry. And so there's a section in that on camps and retreats. But I think there are certainly a lot of degrees specifically that will, train you up for that niche. That said, unless you are planning on doing this exact job for the next 30 years, I don't know that pursuing a master's degree just in camp ministry makes a lot of sense. I would find something where a ministry leadership position where you have some free electives where you can hone, because again, so much goes into camp. There's the ministry side of it where you will have more kids coming to Christ in that 1 week of their life than in any time other than maybe when you've got elementary kids at Vacation Bible School. So the evangelistic side of camp ministry is huge, but you will also need to know more about insurance and staffing and, you know, lifeguard regulations and all that kind of stuff than you will as a youth pastor or a senior pastor or any other type of ministry leader. So I would find a class and a curriculum that's going to prepare you for all of the things, because there are a lot of very unique components to camp
Now,
ministry.
Andrew, is there a Scranton, City Lights Scranton has a question for us when it comes to camp classes at a collegiate level? Is there part of the camp class where we can go over the last night so we can talk tears and
Cry
hugs
night,
and
yeah.
all that? Cry night? That's
Cry
part of the
Night
class?
and Making Out in the Woods 101 is the name of the class.
Brad, don't let
And,
him miss that at your camp. Don't listen to him.
Andrew got an A on that part of the class.
Brad
Making
was
sense.
thinking spiritual direction. That's kind of what I was thinking. That would make a lot of sense.
Again, I would try to build in some electives and take some of the additional outdoor ministry or, you know, that type of, you almost need to be an executive pastor and a spiritual director all at the same time in that role.
Yeah.
So, or just take some classes that the degree doesn't require because you might need them.
That's really good.
I was telling my wife the other day that I was going to write a book about Christian camping and just call it Making Purple, but that was a different conversation that wasn't nearly as serious as this one is. But I think that'd be, if I were a Christian camp director, that would be a great name for a book. Look, I know that Orange's reputation has tanked in the past few years, but their idea of, you know, the church is what, red and the home is yellow, or vice versa, combined and make orange. We could do call something purple when it comes to camp, when deep down we would all know what Making Purple really means.
Oh my gosh.
Brad, hope that was helpful. Hey, we've covered a lot today, from all things Advent to building new campuses to meeting with pastors.
We didn't even get to the very different building project happening here at Safety Harbor.
We're going to have to cover that.
Jackhammering happening right as we speak. You know,
Making
in the background.
jackhammering.
To
This
get
has
rid
been
of
an
the
episode.
We are giving 2 of the preschool classrooms doors with access to the to the playground from the preschool classrooms. And by doing that, we're going to close off part of the back lot that they use and create some additional parking, because the only way for us to get more parking is to buy one of the houses adjacent to us. Okay. And it's probably not worth $500,000 for 12 parking spots.
Not so much.
Mega church alert! More parking spots for Safety Harbor.
We're going to be up to 35 spots.
Wow.
As you can see on the other podcast that came out today, you guys are both together doing the At the Movie series, which is congratulations. That's very exciting.
That was.
And then
I woke up this morning and saw that, and I thought, why? Why am I being personally attacked? I thought we were friends, Frank. Plus, you said I was going to get canceled, and I went back like, wait, what did I say last week that would get me canceled? I don't think I was.
You were
extra
pretty.
mean.
I don't know. You were saucy.
It was 2 weeks ago. It was the episode before that. It has to do with the office you're sitting in. That's why you're getting canceled.
That might actually happen.
Making Purple. Christian camping.
Guys, Christian, can I say something real quick before we go?
Yes.
When we started with Christian camping, we shot up. We shot up a high amount of listeners during Christian camping, and then when the honks started happening, we dropped. So it's interesting crowd we got here.
Yeah, fascinating. Hey, we've got things to do. Lots going on this week. Hopefully, prayerfully, we'll be back. Same bat time, same bat place. Maybe.
Hopefully together, live and in person, because then
maybe
we get
even
lunch
together
afterwards.
Yeah, that's true.
I like to get lunch.
I'm a big fan of eating. All right, we'll see you soon, guys. Merry Christmas.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.